वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल व्यूअर्स। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है पेंट इफेक्ट, सैंड स्क्रैचेस, दैट इज स्वेलिंग, sinking and shrinkage in automobiles, motorcycles and scooters। अगर आपने चैनल अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो अभी से इसको सब्सक्राइब कर दें। This is our defect number 38, which is known as sand scratches, and we shall be discussing its illustrations and photographs, causes and countermeasures, repair method, detailed review at the end, key takeaway, and of course, introduction to the next topic. As far as sand scratches are concerned, here is the illustration of sand scratches, and this is one photograph of sand scratches. Sand scratches क्या है? Visible lines are marks in the paint film that follow the direction of sanding process. What are the main causes, probable causes and a countermeasure? और उसमें टॉप पे है coarse sanding grit, that is sanding the substrate with two coarse grit sandpaper. मोटे पेपर से आपने उसकी sanding की है, and that is technical explanation of this reason is coarse grit sandpaper creates deep sanding marks in the primer surface or a substrate. These scratches are often not fully filled by subsequent coats and become visible after a top coat application, particularly in gloss finishes. तो इलाज क्या है? Sand with recommended gauge sandpaper. दूसरी अहम रीजन इसकी क्या हो सकती है? वो है अंडर कोट नॉट फुली क्योर्ड, दैट इज insufficient dry cure of undercoats before sanding and top coating. मतलब if primer or undercoat is not fully cured, sanding disturbs the soft film and creates unstable sanding marks. As the undercoat continues to dry after top coating, till shrinkage can reveal the scratches. तो फिर इसका काउंटर मेजर क्या है? Allow undercoats to thoroughly dry, or what we say cure, before sanding and top coating. दूसरी अहम वजह क्या हो सकती है? Soft soluble substrate, that is refinishing over soft soluble substrate. For example, lacquer's uncured OEM finish. It is soft or solvent sensitive old finishes may swell, soften, or be reactivated by sanding and top coat solvents. This causes sanding scratches to print through the new coating systems. The fourth probable cause is improper thinner or reducers. That is, using poor quality or very fast thinner oblique reducer that dries too quickly and does not allow the primer or top coat to properly fill sand scratches. मतलब fast thinner and reducer can dry the surface too quickly. Primary surface may bridge over sanding marks instead of filling them properly. While top coat thinning can trap solvent beneath the film and later expose scratches by swelling the undercoat or sensitive substrate. This is the countermeasure. Use the recommended thinner or reducer for the shop temperature and repair size. Apply primer in thin wet coats and allow proper flash off between the coats. These are the most important countermeasures. पांचवी वजह प्रोबेबल क्या हो सकती है? Strong solvent cleaner. Using a cleaner that is too strong for the substrate, or using thinner reducer as a cleaner after sanding. That is, if the cleaner which is too strong, that cleaners can soften, swell, or partially dissolve sensitive substrates and undercoats. This may reopen, deepen, or exaggerate sanding marks, which later become visible through the top coat. What is the proper countermeasure? क्या आपको करना चाहिए? Use the correct cleaner for the substrate type. Do not use thinner reducer as a surface cleaner after sanding. Coming to the repair method, there are two situations. One is minor scratches. The other situation is severe scratches. In case of minor scratches, allow the finish to fully cure or dry. Sand the affected area smooth and polish oblique compound to restore glass if the scratches are minor. And in case of severe scratches, if the scratches remain visible or are severe, sand the surface properly and refinish it in toto. Let's now review as to what we have discussed. What the defect really is, sand scratches are visible sanding marks that appear through the paint film. They may appear immediately after painting or later during drying curing. The defect is not only a sanding issue, it is a paint system process defect. It occurs when sanding marks are not fully filled, become swollen, or reappear due to film shrinkage. How this defect appears? The defect appears in three different forms. One form is swelling, that is, solvent attacks, swells the undercoat or substrate, and reopens hidden sanding marks. Second case is sinking. Primer or top coat settles onto the surface grooves and make them visible. And third possibility is shrinkage. As the coating cures and shrinks, the underlying scratch pattern telegraphs through. Why it happens in paint shops? Because sanding scratches are too deep or too coarse for the coating system. Primary surfacer bridges over scratches instead of filling them properly. Strong oblique fast thinner reduces reducer causes wrapper skinning and solvent trapping. Strong solvent cleaner softens the undercoat or sensitive substrate. Fifth possibility is primer, base coat or top coat is applied with poor flash off or insufficient curing. And finally, excessive film build later shrinks and reveals the sanding patterns. Now, most likely root causes in motorcycles and scooter. One first one is the most important is improper grid selection during primer or wet sanding operation. Inadequate sanding refinement before sealer or a top coat. In primer build over coarse scratches. Use of fast thinner reducer under hot shop conditions. Solvent sensitive plastic parts or repaired old coatings. Recoat before primer surfacer is fully cured. What should be the preventive strategy against the sanding scratches? Follow the recommended sanding grit sequence at every stage. Ensure primer surfacer fills scratches rather than only cover them. Apply primer in uniform wet coats with proper flash off time. Use only the recommended thinner, reducer, and cleaner for the substrate and weather conditions. Avoid aggressive solvent cleaners on sensitive substrates. Allow adequate drying curing time before top coat application. Check repaired areas under good lighting before final coating. And finally, the repair method. Allow the finish to dry, fully dry and cure. Sand the affected area, smooth, compound, polish if the scratches are minor and only affect appearance. If the scratches are severe, they remain visible, sand properly and refinish the whole part. Takeaway from this presentation, sand scratches are not just a sanding defect, they are a total process control defect. The defect is usually result of poor sanding plus poor filling plus solvent attack plus inadequate flash off cure. Effective prevention requires control of surface vibration, primer build, solvent selection, and curing discipline. With this, we conclude our discussion on the paint defect sanding scratches. Stay tuned and don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe button to receive the similar content in future too. Our next topic would be painting defects number 39, that is staining, plastic bleed through, and that is coloration, that is discoloration. Thank you and thank you very much.